Once you've got your tool mounted in the tool holder, we need to set it on the tool post and set the height appropriately, because we want to make sure that this thing is cutting straight down the center line of our part. Note this jam nut up on top here, that only ever needs to be finger tight, and then this knurled nut here, which will change the height of our part. We also want to make sure we have some type of center to reference off of. There is a live center in the toolbox next to the lathe, and then we need a 1-inch wrench out of the toolbox. Got this thing mounted up. I'm going to bring it over here and I'm going to set it on my tool post. Now you notice that it's not dropping down right now, and that's because the cam system's in the way. So all I need to do is move that around until it drops down, and then just double check that everything can secure. Now we want to leave that loose. We're going to grab our 1-inch wrench. We're going to break that big nut on the top free. We don't need to pull it all the way out. We just need it to be loose enough to move this thing around. Now I'm going to take my live center and I'm just going to shove it in the tailstock. It does not need to be seated with a mallet. All we're trying to do is use it as a reference surface. Now I'm going to get it really close to my tool here so that I can reference the two. And you may need to move the x-axis in here, and you might need to shift things around. So I'm gonna make sure that we're operating on the same plane and that everything is really nice and close. And then I'm gonna look at this thing and I'm just gonna turn the knurled nut. And hopefully you can see that that tool is moving up. I like to push down on it because it changes just a little bit when we lock it in. And once it's there, we can run that jam nut down so it doesn't move around on us and get this thing positioned. Now we want to make sure that it's not perfectly straight with the x-axis, because we need to take a turning pass as well as a facing pass. So we want to make sure that the tip of the tool is what's leading our cut. So we're going to set this thing up, imaginary line. We're going to give it about a 5 to 7 degree offset, just making sure that these trailing edges are behind the cutting tip. After we do that, we can lock that in, use the wrench, get it positioned, make sure that's locked in. We'll give that jam nut just a little bit more. After we make a cut, we can double check to make sure that it's at the proper height, doing our facing cut.